Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Black Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we watching Maas. Real shit, street shit, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group. Lab Addicts Music Group. Lab Addicts Music Group.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's your boy Maas, and this is another edition of Adult Conversations with Maas. Hit that like button on your way in. Hit that like button on your way in. We got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to see another day, see another sunrise, see another sunset,
Lab Addicts Music
and another
Group.
chance to love on the people who we cherish. With that being said, it's Tuesday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope the week has started good, productive. Hope you are accomplishing everything that you set out to do this week. As we go into the third week of the government shutdown, hope everybody has everything that they need. If you are a government worker, government contractor, we praying for you because it's gonna be rough because I don't see the government shutdown ending anytime soon. Anytime. You would hope that it would end, but with the shenanigans of the Republicans, we're just gonna call it what it is, the shenanigans of the Republicans, it's gonna be hard for them to get 6 Democrats to come on their side without major concessions. And we hope that this happens because when soldiers, airmen, Marines, Army men, when they start losing checks, it's really bad. And as the Republicans have said, they don't think that the people deserve their back pay. So we'll see how that goes. But tonight's show is titled We Are the Best. And I'm going to preface this by saying that we are the best is not a slight to any other nationalities, any other races. I'm just bigging up my people tonight because there's been a lot of news. We've been castigated as usual. And I just want to put it out there that no, we are the best. And tonight I'm saying that, plain and simple. We, Indigenous Black Americans, we are the best. Not better than anyone else's humanity, but the best of turning pain into art, scarcity into style, and closed doors into our own front porches. Indigenous Black Americans have been the engine and the aesthetic director for global culture. And I'm not saying this arrogantly. It's observable reality. The beats that people dance to, the slang that people talk, the look on the runways, the swagger in sports, the cadence of comedy. Trace that DNA and you'll find us in all of those blueprints. You'll find us in all those blueprints. But here's the paradox to that. The same culture that the world vultures, the same sounds and styles that make billion-dollar industries, somehow travels farther than our own dignity. Our art is welcomed at the party. Our bodies get stopped at the door with the flavor of everyone's pie. Everybody wants melanin. Everybody wants melanin. But too often, we're denied a seat at the table. How does this work? How does it work that the purveyors of culture are the ones that are the most ostracized? How is that? It works because power structures have always loved the product and feared the producer. Always. They love the product, but they fear the producer. They love the drum, but not the drummer. The recipes, but not the cook. The rhythm, but not the roots. America will package our magic and sell it back to us and have the audacity to ask for a thank you. All this while clutching its purse when they walk by. Other countries, they'll chant our lyrics, they'll copy our moves, but still treat blackness like a contagion to be quarantined, not a contribution to be credited. And still we rise. And still we rise. Because our story is alchemy. Enslavement tried to break us. We sang. Jim Crow tried to cage us. And we danced. Redlining tried to box us in. And we built whole neighborhoods of style, scholarship, and self-help. We've been world class at surviving the unthinkable and then inventing the unforgettable. We excel not because oppression made us tougher. Oppression is not a gym membership. But because creativity and community are our birthright. It's our birthright. And we're going to talk about this tonight, people. We're going to talk about the creators that have created things that you never imagined. People ask, if Black culture is so celebrated, why are Black people still treated unfairly? Because celebration without compensation is exploitation. Popularity without power is performance. We've had our voices sampled, our slang sanitized, woke, our faces erased from the credits. Then we've been told to be grateful for representation while ownership is elsewhere. That's the recipe. Extract the cool, exclude the creators, and export the profits. But let's flip it. The best means we define the terms. It means claiming credit, cash, and control. It means protecting our IPs, building our own platforms, buying our own blocks, funding our own filmmakers, and backing our scholars and founders. It means mentoring the next kid with a notebook, a keyboard, a blueprint, or even a basketball. So the brilliance doesn't have to beg for permission. It also means we tell fuller stories of who we are, not just performers, but professors, not just athletes, but architects, not just trends, but traditions. Our genius is not a vibe. It's not a vibe, it's a lineage. From the fields to the factories to the labs and libraries, we've been designing America while America debated our worth. And globally, people know it. When you, as a Black person, when you travel outside the country, you feel it. They know it and they let you know. That fear you feel, that disdain you see, it often is the reflex of systems that can't admit the truth. The greatest exports are wearing our fingerprints. So here's the challenge I leave tonight. Stop measuring our success by how widely our culture is imitated. and start measuring it by how deeply our people are invested in the culture. Do the contracts have our names? Do we have our works patented? Does the boardroom have our faces? Not just a playlist with our voices. Who will be the next billionaire entrepreneur from our culture? Because we are the best. Not because we got lucky, not because we had some handouts, not because of DEI, but because we're living, breathing proof that brilliance grows in concrete. We are the lesson plan. We are the ones that are studied. Chemistry, chem, root word, black. History, the study of. Chemistry is the study of black. Study of melanin. Chem, history, the study of black. We are the sound check. We are the design. And from here on out, we're not just the vibe. We are the owners. We are the owners of the pervading culture of the world. So tonight we're going to talk solutions, let's talk strategy, and let's talk receipts. Because if the world is going to feast on this flavor, then the chef is going to get paid. We're going to get paid and we're going to get respected. And we're going to be at the head of the table. So everybody else out there, tonight's not a complaint. It's a coordination with an action plan. Yeah. We're going to talk about us being the best and the things that being the best, the things that we have to endure, even in this year of 2025. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about how we are the best and the things that we have contributed to society. It's more than athletics. It's more than entertaining. We have contributed to the fabric of this world. And tonight, I'm going to exalt us because there's been too much negativity in the news about my people. And I'm going to talk about what we have contributed to society. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the great inventors. We're going to talk about thespians. We're going to talk about doctors. Not going to talk too much about musicians or athletes, but we're going to talk about the contributions that Black people, Indigenous Black Americans, because we are Indigenous, many of us, most of us, we were here. When Columbus landed, we were already here. And today's conversation comes on the heels of Indigenous Peoples Day, and we're not treading on that because Indigenous Peoples Day is our day. It's our day. So I did some studying as I prepared for tonight's show, and we're going to start out in science and medicine. And some of the contributions that we have contributed to science and medicine. We're going to start with Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. And we're going to talk about the good things. And I'm going to show examples of what being the best means in America. And the stuff that the people that are considered the best have to go through even in the year 2025. So Daniel Hale Williams, he performed one of the first successful open heart surgeries in 1893. And with that, he advanced modern cardiac surgery. And you all that are watching, shouts out to everybody watching on YouTube, most definitely. The MA family, the Maas family, and everybody that's tuning in. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the page. Also, shouts out to everybody watching on Facebook. Shouts out to everybody watching on Instagram, Twitch, and my people's watching on Africa TV. Daniel Hale Williams performed, they say one of the first, I'm going to say the first, successful open heart surgery in 1893. And if there are things that you all want to exalt as well out there, please do. Please do. Then we have Dr. Charles Drew. And after I go through each segment, I'll jump into some current event topics and things. But tonight is a night of exaltation. Of everything, well, some things. Most definitely can't get everything in this show that we have contributed to the United States of America. And if you have not had a chance to go to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., I implore you to do that before President Trump guts it and takes out the things that you need to see, because you really need to see it in its essence of how the curators created it, the message that they wanted you to see, and everything that is on that 6 floors in the museum is free. It's free to go to the museum. You just have to get to Washington, D.C. And I don't want to take away from anyone's experience when they do go to the African American History Museum, which is located in Washington, D.C. But when you go on the curated tour, they take you on an elevator. And the elevator is an industrial size elevator. So there's about between 50 and 75 people on this elevator. And as you go down this elevator, you go back in time. You see the years going backwards as you go down on those floors. And when you get to the bottom floor, I can't remember what date it was, but you come out of the elevator into a slave ship. And that's where your history in America supposedly begins. But, we're not going to take away from what they said, but we know that we didn't come here. We know that all of us didn't come here on no boats. But you come out onto the slave ship, and that's where the journey begins. If you haven't had a chance to see it, go see it before President Trump guts the African American History Museum. Then we have Charles Drew, who pioneered large-scale blood banking and plasma preservation. He revolutionized emergency medicine and wartime care with the ability to store blood and to preserve plasma. I don't know what they're doing with plasma, the government or whatever, but I know that in every large city in America, there is a plasma place in the hood that pays people $50 to $75 to get your blood, take your plasma out, and then put your blood back in you. I've never been to one of those, but I wonder what they do with that plasma. They never say. Then we have Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. And if you've seen the movie Hidden Figures, you know who these three ladies are. They are the NASA trio who enabled orbital spaceflight math. The math and the equations that they were able to solve was the core to the success of the beginning of the U.S. space program. The beginning of the space program. Then we have Dr. Gladys West. And hopefully I'm telling you about people that you haven't heard of so that you can do your own studies and look at the greatness that you come from, the ancestors. That's why we have to pay homage to our ancestors. Then we have Dr. Gladys West, who was a geodesist whose work underpins GPS math. Dr. Gladys West was the purveyor of the foundation of global navigation. Global navigation. Then we have Patricia Bath, who invented laser phaco for cataracts. She was the person who came up with cataract surgery and restored sight to millions and millions of people. And lastly, in science and medicine, we have Otis Boykin. His resistors improved pacemakers and electronics. His advancement made for longer, safer devices for people who had pacemakers. With that being said, I'm going to show the first video of when you're the best, things that you have to go through. And shouts out to WorldStar for this video. What you're seeing here is the owner of a strip mall who had the police called on him because they thought he was trespassing.
Do you have anything that shows you're the owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
We don't have to get too far.
Hey, how are you? Are you the owner? I said, are you the owner?
This is private property. Can I help you?
Are you the owner?
Can I help you?
Are you the owner?
There's an owner of the building and other people that are renting this.
Are you the owner of this place right here?
I cannot answer that.
Okay. Well, I own the building.
You own the building?
Yes.
Okay, so then why do you ask?
Because I've never met you if you own this place. Are you the tenant?
I'm the tenant.
Okay.
So can we stop videoing?
Why?
Because this is private property.
I own the property.
So I'm the tenant.
Who owns where you're standing?
I'm renting this.
Okay, so I'm asking, can we finish talking? All right. Adios. That guy's fucking insane.
Do you have anything that shows you're the owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. That's what it looked like.
Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that the one you guys were talking about? He had a bunch of tanning. Yeah. Is that kind of like your brand, or
Yeah.
where's this at?
This is here. This is what it's going to look like.
Oh, this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah. It looks like the reason.
So the signage isn't like a business name signage. Like
Yeah.
you're doing signs. You're just waiting for tenants to come in to put
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just a miscommunication, both parties.
Oh, there's no miscommunication on our part.
Who was the miscommunication on the part of? This is stuff that we still have to go through in 2025.
I wasn't here.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm listening to your story. I'm listening to his story. There's always a gray area, and that's really true.
What is the gray area? He's the owner of the property, and he was wrongfully accused of something.
Lays in. He could definitely be pretending. People lie to us all the time, and they change personalities. Like boom,
Is he the tenant?
I have no idea who it is.
Let me see, because I've emailed the tenant. It's him. That's
I
him.
mean, yeah, that's him right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his face.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry you wasted y'all's time. All right.
Let's clarify.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awkward. On camera.
Now, let's have a little conversation. Why in 2025 would that man feel the need to go out and bother that man? That man wasn't bothering anyone. He was minding his own business, checking his property, when he was accosted by someone pretending to be him. But it was a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. The only misunderstanding was ownership. And I talked about that in my opening monologue. Ownership. A seat at the table. And even if you have a seat at the table, there are still going to be obstacles. And there used to be this saying, you got to play the game to get ahead. Well, you get to a point where you're tired of playing the game and you just want to live. And a lot of people are there now. A lot of people are there now. Now we're going to move on to engineering and invention. And, so I didn't get a lot for each one of these. As we come up on 35 minutes in the show, hit the like button for me. Hit the like button. Share this video out. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm not leaving. I'm back. So, yeah, just know that I'm back. YWG said he used his hue to get the cops there. Yeah. I mean, but it's just disheartening that in 2025, an owner of a building would have to explain to the police his ownership and then prove that he's the owner. When has a owner ever had? I mean, I guess you do sometimes, but yeah, proof of ownership. It can't be believed that he owned the strip mall. I'm back, Scorp Mom. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. So the first person in engineering we're going to talk about is Garrett A. Morgan. that 3 light signal that you stop while you're driving your car every day, that yellow light that comes on that you run through it before it turns red. Garrett A. Morgan invented that. Before Garrett Morgan invented the stoplight, there was lots of wrecks and lots of people lost their lives because, as we know, a lot of people can't drive. I can't even imagine driving in the early 19th century. I really can't imagine it. As bad as people drive now. But yeah, we have to give thanks to Garrett A. Morgan for inventing the stoplight. Basically, he was the modern purveyor of standardized traffic control. Person that looks like you created that 3-light stoplight. Red, yellow, green. Garrett A. Morgan created that. Then next we're going to talk about Granville T. Woods. Granville T. Woods is a holder of dozens of rail and telecom patents. Induction telegraph. He's the purveyor of safer, smarter trains. I talked about that in the opening monologue as I went through owning your creations, your intellectual properties. We have to learn how to file patents on our intellectual properties. So the stuff isn't stolen from us after we create it. You have to have patents. You have to trademark your work. I think I'm going to do a show on patenting and trademarking. YWG, I knew you was going to say something crazy tonight. Next, we have Marie Van Britten Brown, who was the co-inventor of the modern home security system. She created the blueprint for CCTV home security industry. Marie Van Britten Brown. Oh, most definitely, Squirt Mama, most definitely. Last and most definitely not least in my list of inventors and engineering masters that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about people that really have not been highlighted in history, people that you may not have heard of, because I want us to start studying and to learn about yourself and what your ancestors did to the fabric, to create the fabric of this society. And lastly, most definitely not least, we have Frederick McKinley Jones, who was the inventor of portable refrigeration, cold chain logistics, fresh food, and medicine delivery. So he modernized the ability to have fresh fruit, fresh food, and medicine that was still good. He came up with that little refrigeration thing that you see on the back of 18-wheelers when they are transporting food. Now, food might be fake that they transporting now. Not all of it, but some, yeah, some of it. But with that being said, I got the next video of what the people who are best have to go through. Oh no, I think I deleted it on accident. I did. Bear with me 1 second, you all. I'm gonna have to find that video again, you all. But here's the next video of cultural appropriation. And this is in Japan. And this is a place called Japlanta. And by me calling it Japlanta, I think you kind of get what this video is about to be about in terms of cultural appropriation.
I'm the visa bitch. You a visa
This is Japan, y'all. It's Japan. They got a culture of tossing money now.
Oh my God, they so lit. They turned up. I love the Japanese.
Japa niggas. Japa niggas.
Great Japan's energy. I would give them a 10.
No.
Yeah. They fine. They lit. 1,000,000 times 1,000. I love them so much. It's lit like Atlanta.
Like Atlanta?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Hell yeah. Energy is great, dude. It's like so fucking cool. The energy is like literally a 20 for real. I might as well say 20. $1,000.
Cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation.
There's no number that can like define Magic City Bread. So the first time you just
Can they really say that we are not the purveyors of culture? Can they really say that, y'all? I mean, and you know, and people will say, I mean, that's a bad part of culture, but it's a culture that was created. If you lived in Atlanta in the 90s, as I did, you understand that part of African American culture. And to see this in Japan, they're not playing Japanese music, they're playing black music. Let's continue.
and it's insane. Like,
How did you first hear about Magic City?
Lou Williams, the basketball player.
Lou Williams.
Shout out to Lou Williams. I'm an NBA fan, so I said Lou Williams.
All right, and would y'all consider doing this again?
Next year? Anytime.
Hey man, foot with us one time, man. Who that can get?
I do not own any of this music. You too. It's to the point that they even fly black strippers to these clubs in Japan. Cultural appropriation. I cut that music off for you to get mad at me for a second. We'll come back. Look at that, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. This is Japan. You would think this is Atlanta. This is Japan. Is that paying homage? Is this paying homage to the culture of Atlanta, or is this just copycat? What y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all think? What? What? Hold on. YWG said that dude, Kai Cenat, cosplays black people. Cosplays black people. Said that we don't have. I mean, and while we're on that topic, there are a lot of people outside of the hemisphere of black people that say we have no culture because they say we don't know where we come from, but we are the indigenous culture of America. We are the indigenous culture of America. Scorp Mama said Atlanta is lit. It's lit, all right. You right about that one, and I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Scorp. I know what you're saying. Next, we're going to move to agriculture and environment. We're probably going to do agriculture and environment and law, government, and civil rights as well. So we're going to do two because I was really only able to find, I mean, there's probably others, but agriculture and environment. We got George Washington Carver. I think everybody's heard of George Washington Carver. If you are Eddie Murphy fan, you most definitely know who George Washington Carver was. And basically, George Washington Carver was the purveyor of crop rotation and peanut sweet potato innovations. George Washington Carver, came up with peanut butter. And basically, his contribution to the fabric of America was soil restoration and Southern economy diversification. Southern economy diversification. And with that being said, we're going to talk about the Tuskegee Movable School. And what the Tuskegee Movable School was, it was mobile agricultural education to rural farmers. Basically, they took the schooling to the farmers in the rural South and basically showed them how to farm. Basically, the Tuskegee Movable School scaled practical knowledge of farming to the masses. We were here with the Indians. I mean, there are some that say that, yeah, we were here with the Indians, but there are some that say that we are Indians. I know that I have Indian in my family, Blackfoot. My great grandmother used to tell me those stories about Blackfoot Indians. And yes, my grandmother was a member of the Blackfoot tribe. So that makes me a member of the Blackfoot tribe. We're going to move on to law, government, and civil rights. And the video that I have after this is really going to hit home. It's probably going to cause an uproar. The video that I'm going to show you all is demeaning, dehumanizing. But first, we have Thurgood Marshall, NAAC litigator, the first Black Supreme Court justice, and the architect of Brown versus Board of Education. Thurgood Marshall created desegregation through legislation. You've always heard people say that the way that you win in America is through legislation. That is why we as Indigenous Black Americans have to make a political action committee. Because if you don't ask for anything, you'll get nothing. And even when you ask, you may not get nothing. But yes, Thurgood Marshall is a giant in terms of Black litigators and legislators. Thurgood Marshall. Next on this list, we have Bayard Rustin and Ella Baker. They were movement strategists who basically are I would say they are in the founding group of non-violent strategists. And Ella Baker was instrumental in coming up with basically grassroots power. Bayard Rustin and Ella Baker were the offensive coordinators in terms of creating the organizing playbook that is still used today. Ella Baker and Bayard Rustin created that playbook of nonviolent grassroots movements. And that playbook is still used to this day. Then we have Shirley Chisholm. A lot of people don't talk. I mean, people talk about Shirley Chisholm, but I don't think people give Shirley Chisholm the credit she deserves. She was the first Black woman in Congress. And in 1972, the year that I was born, she ran for president. And gave people the thought in their minds that even in America, as a Black woman or a Black person, you could be president. And a lot of people say that that was realized when President Obama was elected. And there are some people that say that President Obama wasn't the first Black president. We know that President Obama wasn't the first. There were presidents before George Washington that were Black. Do your own research on that. And last, in terms of law, government, civil rights, we have John Lewis, who went from being a freedom rider in the original civil rights movement all the way to Congress, where he also was a lifetime architect of nonviolent power. Nonviolent power. These are a few of your ancestors who fought through legislation to get a lot of the Civil Rights Act and the concessions that were made for Black people in that legislation. A lot of that came from those 5 individuals that I just talked about. With that being said, I'm going to show you all the video that I've been talking about. You've probably already seen it, but maybe not in this capacity. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I gotta find the video of the song. Basically, that was just the aftermath of that teacher. But I'm trying to find the video. I gotta find the video. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Now I'm gonna say this. I in no way agree with anything that the Hodge twins stand for. I'm gonna say that. But the video where they're gonna have the lady singing the song is a video with the Hodge twins. So shouts out to the Hodge twins for having this video and putting this video out. But here we go, y'all.
Just turned 6 years old. Can we sing happy birthday to you? His class and teachers celebrated with a song. But what happened next? Would you like the funny song now that I sing to you? Stirred up hurt feelings and anger. Happy birthday to you. You live in the zoo. You look like a monkey. And you smell like one, two. Have a clap, everybody.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey and you smell like one too. I've never heard that birthday song in my life. I'm gonna rewind that back. I gotta hear that one more time. I've never in my life heard that version of the song. Has anyone? That song's been around a long time. Scorp Mama, I have never heard this song in my life.
You live in the zoo. You look like a monkey. And you smell like one, two. Have a clap, everybody.
That's crazy. Even the Hodge twins had to say that was crazy because that was crazy. How, if a teacher sung that song to one of your children, is that a violation of civil rights? Is that a hate? Is that hate speech? Is that a hate song? Or am I overreacting? Score Mama, I've never heard that song in my life. Is there anyone else in the chat that has heard that version of that song before? I don't know. That when I watched that video and I looked at the little boy's face when they were saying that, I wanted to cry. That hurt my feelings. It hurts my feelings now that I just listened to it. I have never in my life heard that song. How do y'all feel about this? Is the stuff that the purveyors of culture still have to go through. We just crossed the hour in the show. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Share this video out. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Monday and Wednesdays, to watch your boy, Adult Maas, and Adult Conversations with Maas. Okay, Camille said she heard it before, but was always a joke on someone, not as a birthday. I've never in my life heard that. It hurt my feelings when I saw the little boy's face when she was singing that song to him. It hurt me to the core. It hurt me. It hurt me. But yeah, those are some of the things that we still have to go through. Next, we're going to talk about military and public service. Yeah, I got to move away from that because it's going to make me mad. I got to move away from that. First on the list, we have the Buffalo Soldiers. These were all black post-Civil War Army regiments that professionalized a desegregated military path for black men. The Buffalo Soldiers. I heard lots of stories about the Buffalo Soldiers from my great-grandfather. The Buffalo Soldiers. There's lots of stories that I could tell about the Buffalo Soldiers, but yes, they professionalized service for black men in a desegregated military. The Buffalo Soldiers. Next on the list, we have the Tuskegee Airmen, the World War II fighting group who were elite in their fighter jet performance. Elite. They've had movies done about them. And we talk about the Tuskegee Airmen, but they don't get talked about enough, even though they're revered. These were giants. These were your ancestors. These were great people, great family men, great individuals. And they are your ancestors. And lastly, we have Colin Powell. And I know some people probably going to disagree, but Colin Powell was the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs, as well as Secretary of State. He served both administrations, Democratic and Republican. He was the true essence of a non-partial military man who wanted the best for all Americans, and most definitely Black Americans. Now we're going to move on to business and economics. And first on this list, hey, April Shaw's, how you doing? First on this list, we got Madam C.J. Walker, the first self-made woman millionaire in the history of the United States. The first self-made woman millionaire. There's no designation of black woman, or she's the first woman millionaire in the U.S. Madam C.J. Walker. Then we have Reginald Lewis, who was the first Black American to build a $1 billion leveraged buyout. He put Black people on the map on Wall Street. Reginald F. Lewis. Think and Be Rich. Reginald F. Lewis. Then we have Robert Johnson and Sheila Johnson. They created a Black-owned media network and flipped. A lot of people were mad at them for selling BET, but they flipped BET into numerous companies that employ Black people. Also, he was the one-time owner of the Charlotte Bobcats. Why he named them the Bobcats is beyond me, but yes, ownership. Black ownership. That's a continuing theme that I'm gonna talk about today. It's ownership. Owning your patents, owning your intellectual properties, ownership, owning a company, entrepreneurialism. Being your own boss. And then we have Alelia Bundles Walker legacy. Jet, Ebony, and Essence. It's a media conglomerate. Jet, Ebony, and Essence were magazines that were in every Black household, 70s, 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s. Men my age used to take the Jet Beauties out and hang them on our walls. Those were about the only women that our mothers would let us put on wall was the Jet Beauty. I can't tell you how many times I got whooped for ripping the Jet Beauty out of the Jet magazine. That was me. But Aaliyah Bundles Walker, media conglomerate. These magazines shaped Black life. They were narratives of power and the presence of Black people in America. This list is long. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more categories. But I'm doing this to show you that we created the fabric of this society. So when you hear bad things about yourself as a person, just know that our contributions to this society are still in use to this day. Still in use to this day. I think it's time for another video. We talked about business, economics, military, and public service. The next 4 we're going to talk about is arts, letters, and media, sports and culture, education and institutions, technology and the modern internet, and then lastly, politics and symbolic verse. So we got about 4 more categories to go through. But Before we get into arts, letters, and media, we're going to look at
Never supported.
we want to look at that one. We'll look at this one. Now, I'll preface this by saying these are Ari Spears' opinions, but they are opinions of a lot of people. Let's see what Ari Spears has to say. Shouts out to World Star Hip Hop.
I mean, yeah, look, I interviewed.
Also,
let's go. A former FBI sniper named Chris Wickham. He was part of the hostage.
Shouts out to DJ Vlad TV for this being able to be put on World Star Hip Hop. Vlad TV, don't strike me.
Squad, the hostage rescue squad, which is kind of the Navy SEALs of the FBI in a way. And he was there at Waco, Texas. He was there at Ruby Ridge. You know about Ruby Ridge? Ruby Ridge was crazy. So basically what happened with Ruby Ridge was you had this like kind of crazy ex-vet who was having all these guns. He lived in some mountain called Ruby Ridge with like his 14-year-old son, his wife, and like one of his friends. The FBI was going to, I guess, serve an arrest warrant because he had like sawed-off shotguns or something like that. On their way up to the mountain, they ran into his 14-year-old son, his friend, and the dog. The dog rushed the FBI agents. The FBI agents shot the dog. Then the son shot the FBI agent. They returned fire and killed the son. And then the friend killed the FBI agent. So then they go to the house and refuse to come out with all these guns and a dead kid and the FBI surrounding them and that type of thing. But like basically he talked about how the biggest threat right now in America in terms of these terrorist attacks is these young, white, disenfranchised white males.
And the reason I'm showing this is because this administration tries to put the onus of crime on people of color. And I just wanted another point of view to be expressed. And like I said, these are Ari Spears' opinions.
These are the guys that are doing all the shootings. Pretty much every time.
I said my very first Vlad TV interview when I had the red V-neck t-shirt on. It was wrinkled like a motherfucker. I said this boogeyman-like stigma. Black people are to be feared. Ooh, the boogeyman black man. When historically, white people have been the most dangerous people on the planet, historically, in terms of murder, mayhem, and destruction. White people have been the most dangerous people on the planet. History tells us this.
So you think it's projection? White people are projecting their own, insecurities onto other races by saying
they've always done that. They've always done that.
They've always done that. Always, y'all. Just a different viewpoint, because I don't believe that crime and punishment begins with black people. I don't believe it. In terms of music, there isn't a genre of music that hasn't been touched by Black people. Lots of songs that Black people sang back in the day. White people would sing those songs and the radio would play them, and they would be big, big hits. But you wouldn't find out till years later that the Black artist wrote that song. We'll start arts, letters, and media with the Harlem Renaissance. Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Duke Ellington, etc. This was the start of Black culture getting worldwide acceptance. It was the Harlem Renaissance. Basically, it was the global modernism shaped by Black art. It was the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance gave birth to lots of Black writers, dancers, all of the arts. Black people started getting recognition because of the Harlem Renaissance. Then, like I said, music, jazz, blues, gospel, R&B, rock, hip hop, from Louis Armstrong to Run DMC, American music's backbone and world influence is shaped by people that look like you, your ancestors. We have Toni Morrison, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature. She is a global literary canon. Toni Morrison. Then we have Gordon Parks. He was a photographer, filmmaker, shaping visual language. There are lots of people that say that he is the creator of the blaxploitation movie. Those movies were great. If you've ever had a chance, go back and look at some of those old Black movies across 42nd Street. Might be across 142nd Street. I think that's what it is. Superfly. The Mac. Uptown Saturday Night. These are modern movie classics that you can look at. Some of these movies are 60 years old. You can still look at them and still laugh and still get the feeling of being there in those settings. Gordon Parks was the purveyor of the blaxploitation movie. Hip hop innovation. Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, Sylvia Robinson. We've heard other people, other nationalities try to come in and say that they were the creators of hip hop, but we all know that hip hop started with DJ Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash. It was a new way of a new type of music, using new technologies, new production, and different business models. Then we got sports. Jackie Robinson. Just say Jackie Robinson's name and it speaks volumes. He was the original integrator of sports. Major League Baseball. The things that Jackie Robinson went through during his first season of playing with the Dodgers, it's been cataloged. It's been highlighted. He received death threats. And every day he stood tall and smiled. He never complained. He never lashed out. Never. He is the standard of what an American Black sports figure should be. He was the first. He was the first. Then we have Althea Gibson, my frat brother Arthur Ashe, and Serena and Venus Williams, who showed that African Americans can be dominant in sports that were predominantly white at one time. Althea Gibson, Arthur Ashe, Serena and Venus Williams. And then we have Simone Biles. And even though she's current, I mean, she's the most decorated gymnast in Olympic history, Simone Biles. She shows little black girls every day of what you can do with your life. You know, Simone Biles is so good that some of the things that she was doing, they tried to outlaw them and say that they were too hard for the other gymnasts to do. But I thought that was the object, was to do things that other people can't do. But they said that the things that she does is too athletic for any other woman other than her to do. So Simone Biles. And then we have Bill Russell. 11 NBA titles, and civil rights activist who always spoke his mind. He was also a player coach. I think he won a championship when he was a player coach. So those are sports icons. There's others, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Jesse Owens. There's numerous people that I could talk about, but I chose those. Muhammad Ali is the greatest. It goes without saying the respect and the love that I have for Muhammad Ali. I am a Louisvillian, and people say that you don't say it right. You don't say Louisville. Well, I say Louisville, Kentucky, because that's what Muhammad Ali said. And with that being said, another example of when you're great, the things that you have to go through. Shouts out to World Star one more time for this video. This video was filmed 2 hours after a parade in Omaha, Nebraska, after Terrence Crawford was given his second key to the city. This is what happened to him on his way home from the celebration.
Nigga, dog nigga, faux nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, po nigga, house nigga, field nigga. Open the door. Still nigga. Still nigga.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's on his way home from the parade where the mayor of the city gave him the key to the city, and they had a parade for him 2 hours afterwards. 2 hours afterwards. And when they finished talking about it, the police said that he didn't know that was Terrence Crawford. Who believes that? Who believes that? Who believes that? These are the things that we as people still have to go through. It's disheartening. It's disheartening. It's disheartening, but it's life. Educational institutions, HBCUs, it goes without saying. I went to a HBCU, and I would say that going to an HBCU shaped how I handle certain situations. Now, these are just enhancements on what I was taught by my parents and my grandparents and uncles and aunts and things like that. But the things that I learned about life at Clark Atlanta University, I went there, are things that I hold for a lifetime. The people that I met, I still have relationships with most of the people that I was cool with when I went to Clark. It's forged lifelong relationships. We've all went our different ways, but there are people that I still keep in contact with. And then we have technology and the modern internet. And we have Roy Clay Sr. Roy Clay Sr., who was the godfather of Black Silicon Valley. He was in early HP computing. He opened doors for Indigenous African Americans in the tech industry. He is the godfather. Roy Clay Sr., look him up. Look, he's all the people that I have named tonight during this show are giants amongst us. These are your ancestors. We stand on their shoulders. So just know that when you see all the bad things in the news and you hear Donald Trump talking about melanated people, just know that we stand on the shoulders of giants. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Next in technology and modern internet, we have Mark Dean, who is the co-creator of the IBM PC architecture. He was an IT architect who modernized the PC monitor. He added color to the PC monitor. Mark Dean and Roy Clay Sr. are two individuals in a arena that is not heavily populated by Indigenous African Americans. They were giants in those industries. And then last but not least, we got politics and symbolic firsts that translated into power. We're going to have a lot of people that are going to have some things to say. But number one, Barack Obama, first Black president. Policy, global giant, global symbolism. Just a great orator. There are people who say he didn't do a lot, but he did do a lot. He did a lot. Maybe not individually for Black people, but he did a lot for certain causes. I don't agree with everything that he did, but he served with dignity. He looked racism in the face, and he won 2 elections. Barack Obama. That, my friends, are some of the giants, some of the innovators, some of the inventors, some of the thespians, some of the musicians who created the fabric of America, not just Black America, and not just America, across the world. People in Japan have afros because of people in America, Black people, Indigenous Black Americans. People wear Jordans all across the world. all across the world. There is a Black fashion director at Polo. Polo, my favorite. I don't wear anything but polo. I am a low head, have been for years. So it's great to know that now the creative direction of Polo is in the hands of a Black man. That's a good feeling to have, knowing that Polo is basically the only brand that I wear. The creative direction of Polo is headed by a Black man. Our greatness comes in all hues, all colors, shapes, sizes, and IQ levels. Our greatness speaks volumes. And I just wanted to point that out because I was really getting bad vibes by all of the things that were being said about Black people. So I just wanted to do a video to show that we are excellent in all areas of society. There isn't a section of this society that we have not contributed to. And I just wanted to point that out tonight because we get the short end of the stick a lot of times, but today we weren't getting the short end of the stick. And I wanted to show our greatness, and I hope I did. I hope that I have said something that will make you feel a little bit better about yourself. Like I said, this show was not to belittle any other races, nationalities. I just wanted to big up my people. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Put some gems in your head for people for you to go research. I'll be back Thursday with another show. It's your boy Maas, and this has been another edition of Adult Conversation with Maas. Black excellence. We are everywhere. We are the best. I'll see y'all Thursday.